Welcome back to another episode of the Energizer Podcast, man. Tap in, you know what I'm saying? I'm here with your two favorite guests. So I'm here with myself, Ty, and
T. We're in the building.
All right, we're in the building, live and direct. So today's topic we want to talk about is how to use setbacks as getbacks. So without further ado, man, take it off, man.
Say nothing. If I'm just touched on it, I feel like in life you're going to be faced with certain hurdles. You're going to be faced with certain challenges. Me personally, I see those challenges as a test. And that test is to see if you really want what you say you want. That's what I mean. And I feel like you need to find a way somehow through all the cloudiness of the L, you need to find a way to find a lesson in that. You know what I'm saying? So that's me, Storm.
So that first point you made about the lesson, that resonated with me because I believe that I don't take losses, bro. We don't take losses, bro. We don't lose. We just learn. There's a difference in it. People, we either win or we learn. We don't lose around here. Do you know what I mean? So you have to understand that every time you're trying to start something new, whether it's a hustle or you're just in your day-to-day life, because we're all gonna get hit with adversity, man. There's even times, like for example, I'm commuting to work and I missed the train. Or I'm late for the train or something. That's an adversity right there. Do you know what I mean? An obstacle. But what can I learn from this? I honestly believe that every time something difficult happens into my life, I'm always looking in between the cracks, like you said, and see what is the lesson here. What is the key fundamental thing that I should be able to take away from this situation so that I can improve and be a better man for tomorrow?
Strong. I feel like a loss is simply an opportunity to learn. That's literally how I see it. It's an opportunity to learn. You've taken a loss, all right, cool. Sit down for a minute and figure out where did you go wrong. I feel like sometimes pride can get in the way and pride can make you blame other people, but you need to sit down and figure out, what did I do? How did I play a part in this loss? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, bro.
Nah, man. And I feel like that's just being mature. So, going slightly off topic, but we know we're going to bring it back anyways. Like, onto the bit about pride. I really do resonate with that, so I would like to highlight that. So, what's your thoughts on, like, a man's pride? Because you know my stance, bro. I believe that as a man, your pride is a killer. So, you mentioned pride there about, like, noticing your own errors and wrongdoing. So, what do you think on that?
I feel like my pride is something I've definitely have had to work on, 100%.
Same.
Even till now, I've got mad pride, you understand what I'm saying? But I've realised in certain instances in my life, pride has held me back. Pride has held me back from speaking to someone that I want to speak to, but my pride won't allow me.
We've all been there, man.
Yeah, I feel like as a man, you're meant to maintain your pride. Don't get rid of your pride, though. I feel like pride's an essential part as a man, but at the same time, just learn how to control it more.
When you mean control it, in what sense?
Don't let your pride stop you from doing things that you actually want to do. Do you understand what I'm saying? Pride isn't a real person. Pride's just your mind. I'm saying, do what you actually want to do. Some instances, but yeah. yeah.
Nah, I hear it.
Still. What flipping? Go on, bro. Go on.
For me, it's like pride can be a killer because I feel like you said, and we've already acknowledged, a lot of men have too much pride, I think. And like you said, pride is something that can definitely block your blessings. You should never allow your pride, to come in the way of you and the things that you want within reason. Do you know what I mean? So like, there has to be a balance. But to recap and summarize, just drop your pride a bit, man. Like, there's no harm in reaching out to someone first. There's no harm in, you know what I mean, like someone overlooking you initially if you know that it's in your best benefit. Because like certain times I might want to go and speak to someone. Pride's telling me no, but the pride's blocking my blessings because that person could only be one conversation away from that person to advance in my life. Like, I believe, honestly, you're one conversation away from getting rich. So imagine if I was going to go and talk to someone and because maybe, I don't know, because I messaged them on Snapchat and they didn't add me back, pride's telling me, oh, you know what the hell, rub that, man, she didn't add me back, but you don't know what value can that person bring to your life, 100. And you're gonna allow yourself to not even get to taste not even 2% of that value because your pride's telling you that you're better than that. Sometimes you have to go overlooked. I honestly believe that sometimes you have to be overlooked so that you can be overbooked.
Oof, strong. We dropped too many gems in this thing. But even touching on that, like you kind of touched on being overlooked, being rejected, Sometimes I feel like rejection is a form of protection. That's a way for the universe to say, this person is not for you, or that thing you're trying to chase is not for you. So sometimes rejection isn't a bad thing. Sometimes just change your perspective on it. It's protecting you from the actual thing. Do you know what I mean?
You know what? That even brings me back onto the original topic of today about using setbacks as getbacks, because I feel like what's your stance on fell forward? Just that quote, fell forward.
Yeah, I feel like, I think we touched on it on the last episode as well. Like, just get involved in stuff. Get involved. Get started on the process and fell forward. In your journey, you're gonna fail. You're gonna go through losses. But as we both said, that's a lesson. It's an opportunity for you to learn. So yeah, fell forward, man. Whatever you're doing, don't wait for the perfect time. Jump into it, and then you learn as you go along.
I feel like with everything, the only way you can grow is by one, being uncomfortable, and two, by failing. But you have to change your perspective to failing. Like, failing is not a bad thing. And I feel like that's not really our fault, or like even you guys watching this, is not your fault, because when we look back to like school and the education system, we always used to get punished for doing things wrong, punished for failing, punishing for getting a C or failing a test or getting a 4 or whatever, yeah. So subconsciously now, when we go into life, we're thinking that every time I fail, it has to be associated with certain negative connotations, certain bad things, but that's not the case, bro. Like, I'm happy to fail. I honestly find more value in failing than I do in actually winning, because you can't learn anything from winning. The only thing that you can learn is that you've done the thing right, so that you're limiting your capacity to grow from that specific win, and also it's just gonna boost your self-esteem, which is great, give you that serotonin boost. But you know what am I learning here? If I was like, if you asked me, I don't know, you asked me a mad question, and I answered it right. All right, you got it right, well done. But if I got it wrong, I can learn, and then I can progress and develop, and do you know what I mean? So,
100.
Go on, bro.
What I was just gonna say to you, like, even just touching back onto the losses, like, I feel like a man's biggest test of character is being able to stay on track, even when the world around him is trying to distract him. So out there, you've got girls, you've got parties, you've got the man them, you've got litness. That's what I'm saying. But I feel like the biggest test of a man's character is being able to put those things to the side and just focus on their journey, innit? As we said, tunnel vision.
Tunnel vision is everything, man. And it's true, man. Like, sometimes I also feel like when it comes to failing, honestly, like, maybe it's just me. You guys might even be in the comments like, nah, Ty's tapped. Like, what the hell? But like, I like failing. Honestly, like, I really do enjoy failing, because I'm the type of person where I'm always trying to evolve and level up in life. And like, I said this in a past episode as well. Like, in life, I like to see myself as an apprentice of life. Honestly, of life. So in order for me to be an apprentice and learn and grow and develop, I have to do things wrong. I have to make amends. I have to have someone to rectify on my mistakes or help me see the error in my ways in order for me to be a better man. You're not gonna start off in life. No one's born perfect. Perfection, in my opinion, doesn't even exist anyways. But I feel like no one's born right. No one's born winning. So in order for you to get there, the tip of the iceberg, like we said last episode, you need to go through the losses first, the mistakes first, the not knowing how to do things first. Like, when we started, like, honestly, look at the content we put out, like, on all of our social platforms. Tap in to the TikTok and the Instagram. If you look back to our first ever reel we posted, video, I'll hold my hands up, I'm pretty sure that video was out of sync. If I'm being honest, you're not really watching it like, raw, like, why is Tay saying something and then 5 seconds ago his lips are moving? Do you know what I mean? My bad. Our bad, do you know what I mean? But now, because we've failed, quote unquote, we're able to fail forward and learn and look back on our mistakes to rectify it, to make sure the syncing is on point, to make sure that we're formatting the content in the best way we can to make it better tailored for you guys, you know what I mean? So like, in order for me to be the man I am today, I had to be a worse man yesterday so that I can improve today.
100. I touched on that a few episodes back. I feel like I'm gonna be successful through failing. I feel like that's my way of attaining success. Failing, stepping back, cooling off my head. All right, cool. What did I do wrong? How am I gonna hit them back again? Do you get what I mean? So I feel like that's the way that I'm gonna be successful, trial and error.
Nah,
do you get me? But even just touching on that, how do you deal with losses? Because I've actually got like a strategy that I do whenever I'm faced with a loss or bad news. But how do you deal with your losses that you face?
Oof. You want to get deep here? For me, when it comes to dealing with losses, let's clarify. What do you mean? What type of loss?
It could
be specific, because there's different ways I deal with different losses in it. So
it could be. Let's just say. Let's say, boom. Let's just keep it Energizer. Let's say Energizer. No, I can't be specific. Because you'll deal with every situation differently. Do you know what I'm saying?
Cool, so
but on a general scale, like when you're faced with an L, what is your movement? How do you react?
When I deal with an L, the first thing I do is discipline myself to not allow my pride to take over me, because I feel like that's the first step that can block my blessings. The second thing that I do whenever I take a loss, again, is I ask myself, how can I improve? So instead of coming from a perspective where I'm replying to that loss with emotion and being like, oh, but, because you know some people like take an L and they're all but this, or they're getting very defensive and reactive. Yeah, I don't like to do that. I like to think, cool, like logically speaking now, what could I have done to improve? And then I'll ask my peers during the time that I've lost how I could have done better for next time. That's what I do. So it's like a three-part process. Sorry to interrupt.
Proper. I like what you touched there about logic and emotion. Yeah. So this is how I deal with my situation. So alright, cool. I call it the 24-hour rule. Yeah. So let's say I'm hit with a loss. It could be I lost a family member, I took an L in business or whatever. Yeah. What I typically do, I'll take 24 hours before I respond, if possible. Yeah. So if possible, I take 24 hours. I take a day out just to assess the situation, and then when I do that, it allows me to act with logic rather than emotion. You know what I'm saying? Energy is temporary. Energy changes. Break down the word energy in motion. You know what I'm saying? Energy in motion.
You've been learning.
I've been thinking. Do you get me? But however, logic is usually based on facts, principles, wrong and right. Usually, it's like logic is basically black and white more time. Innit? However, emotion is colourful. Emotions is a rainbow thing. I don't like rainbows. So what I like to do is step back. Yeah, I like to step back and just figure out, alright, cool. Let me wait 24 hours and react with logic rather than emotion. Yeah. Because I know I can be very impulsive at times still. Yeah.
Can't we all, man? But again, like, what you don't even realise what you're doing within that strategy is you're allowing yourself to fail forward, because you know that past Tay, a year ago Tay, 3 years ago Tay would have immediately responded to the situation in a heightened state, because everything affects us whether we want to be aware of the fact or not. Do you know what I mean? Me doing this podcast with you now is having a certain effect on me. Yeah. You, when we leave and we get into our car, as soon as we hit that first red light, it's having an effect on us, whether we realise it or not. So in order for you to step back and withdraw and mitigate you reacting in an emotional manner or an emotional way is only going to help you, because like you said, energy changes. So if someone was to tell me, I don't know, if something mad was to happen right now and I react right now, I'm reacting in a heightened emotional state. I'm not reacting in logical tie, it's emotional tie. You never know, I could punch you in the face or start bust down in tears. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's me being emotional. Yeah.
Depends how you're feeling that day.
Not say, obviously I wouldn't do that. That's just an example. But like, if I was to take that time out, like you said, give myself 24 hours, give myself a day to really think on it. So maybe the first 12, I'm thinking emotionally, like, oh, this person violated me, or man failed to do A, B, and C. Yeah. And then the second half of the 12 hours now, you're like, rah, now that I've kind of cooled off a little bit, now that I'm in less of a heightened state for my emotions, how do I really feel? What's logic saying?
100.
And I like that.
I feel like you put a buffer in between what's happened and your response in that 24 hours, like a buffer period where you can really assess the situation and then react in logic rather than emotion.
I can't lie, I respect that, and I don't necessarily like you know my 3-part rule now because I just said it, but it's one of them like unspoken rules in which I didn't really know that I did, but now you've highlighted it, it's made me think about that. But going forward, I might even take and apply this 24-hour rule, because I feel like that's something that could definitely help me, as well with the fact that we're similar in the sense where you're impulsive and I know I can be very impulsive as well. So sometimes you just impulsively react without knowing that within that impulse, it's emotion that's wrapped around that. And there's no logic there, do you know what I mean? So by me giving myself a 24 hours, it's forcing me to, one, not be impulsive, and two, think in the most logical way, shape or form as possible, do you know what I mean?
And what you might do, you might make a temporary decision based off on you might make a permanent decision based on a temporary emotion.
We've all done that. I've definitely done
it. I've done it loads of times. You get me? So I feel like just take the time out to figure out, alright, cool, how do I really feel about this? Do you get me?
No, that's strong, man. So going back onto the point about using setbacks as getbacks, one thing I wanted to highlight as well is that, this is why I love getbacks, not getbacks, this is why I love setbacks, because whenever something happens and it doesn't go to plan or something changes, you're no longer starting from scratch, you're starting from experience, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's the most important thing. So it's like, I could be at level 4, something could take me back to level 1, but now that I've already touched level 4, I know quickly how to get to level 4 and beyond that probably. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not starting from level 1, really at level 1. I'm level 1 here, but I've got the knowledge, of level 4 and above.
Yeah, so you're starting again, but now you've got knowledge that you built up, experience as well. So you get me? So proper.
Exactly, man. And I feel like for you guys watching this, if you're thinking, like, how could I use a setback to get back, for example? Just use that literal point there. So think to yourself, if something delays me if I'm starting a business or I'm starting a hustle and something delays me, I'm not actually starting from square one. Really, when you think about it, I'm starting from like square three, level 3. Do you know what I mean? Because you've already been there, so you've already experienced it, so you have the experience to do better from a point further back.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like losses only exist if you allow them to. That's not me being ignorant and saying that bullshit can't happen in life, but I feel like how you respond to it is what matters. You know what I'm saying? So losses are going to happen in life, but you need to convert them into an opportunity to learn. Do you get me? So yeah, man, that's how man lives my life.
Nah, that's strong. And you know what I think as well, yeah, on terms of the setback, I really like the word setback, man, because it just resonates with me a lot, because I've had a lot of setbacks. Everyone has. You have probably had yours as well, but me, again, being main character, as we spoke last episode, yeah, I've had real loads of setbacks in life. Do you know what I mean? But that's why it's all about how you maneuver yourself in a way which allows you to get back quicker. Setbacks are inevitable. When you think about it, yeah, you're bound to come into obstacles in every aspect of life. Me and you can have a race to run down the end of this road right now. There might be a pedestrian in the middle of the road. I'm not going to lick him down. That's a setback. You know, that's an obstacle. Me trying to avoid whoever this person is could set me back.
All that means now is that when you get past the pedestrian, you need to run 10 times harder.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And I feel like you need to understand this, like literally what we said last episode about the tip of the iceberg. Do you know what I mean? Like, in order to get back and reach to that top of the iceberg state, you need to understand that the lower levels of the iceberg are only really there to help you. What can you learn? Every time I lose, my first question to myself is, what can I learn from this? Like, this is why I like failing. Like I said, like, I'm happy to fail. Honestly, I really am, because obviously I'm not gonna go out and like do
willingly
something stupid, drive on the wrong side of the road or something, knowing that I'm gonna get sanctioned for it. But when it comes to life, like, I will just be me, and me being me, no one's perfect, but I don't want to be. I will fail, probably. I might talk to someone and I might mess up, but that's all right, because now I know I've learned to be a better man. If no one rectified this error that I made, I would just be walking around bare ignorant, like, yeah, I'm doing everything right, daisies and roses, when it's really not like that.
And that's why I feel like, just touching back on to your friendship group, I feel like it's important to not have yes men around you. Do you get me? Because yes men will say, all right, cool, you're doing so well, you're doing good, and then you can be ignorant to the fact that you're not actually doing as good as you can be. So let's say me, for example, if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, you're gonna say, Tay, pattern up. Do you get me? Same for you. If you're not doing something you're supposed to be doing, I'm gonna say, Ty, move more correct. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, as we have been, man. And that's why, like, you're literally so right. Energy is everything, and you got to be careful of the people you keep around you, because some people will want you to have a setback hoping that you don't get back. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's talk on that. Do you know what I mean? Like, some people will literally want you, he fell off, yes, but I don't want him to get back to how he was before, because, you know, I'm insecure, I'm projecting my own insecurities onto him. Do you know what I mean?
Sometimes people feel like other people's success hinders them in a way, and there's room for everyone in this world to be successful. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like from time you're here, and we touched on this already, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You got too much time on your hands.
Watch your own, innit?
Yeah, watch your own.
And it's so true. And I feel like, yeah, man, watch your own. No one's really got time for that, man. But I also feel, in terms of the whole topic, setbacks as getbacks, I feel like I like to be a solution-orientated person. You know what I mean? So people can come to me with a problem, and my first thought is, what's the solution here? Do you know what I mean? Like, how do we fix this? Because the problem is the problem, but the solution can change. The solution is all that really matters. Like, someone could say to me, oh, Ty, I'm in traffic, I'm going to be half an hour late. That's the problem. I could sit here and cry about it, or I can think, cool, now that he's going to be half an hour late, what could I do to get back, to make up for that time? Or what's the best way I can optimize this situation as of right now? Do you know what I mean?
100%. And that's why I feel like sharing your problems helps. I don't feel like you should hide from your problems. Share your problems to your team. Do you get me? Brainstorm, sit down together and say, all right, cool, this has happened. How do we target this now? How do we hit this problem? Do you know what I'm saying? Don't hide from your problems, man.
Thank you. And also,
don't hide them from yourself either.
Literally. And tying into the point about friends and like networking and stuff, it's always good to have like 5 solid people around you. Not even people. It's good to have a team that, like Tay said, I can share to my team of people, my mastermind net. Shout out the mastermind network. If you know, you know. My team of people, for example, who would be like, oh, Ty, you've just come to me the other day and said that this is your problem, but why don't you try this? Why don't you try that? So they can help, show me different perspectives, you know what I mean? So like, if I have a problem, I don't know the solution, but I go to Tay and be like, yo, bro, what do you think about this, man? This is my situation I'm going through right now.
Yeah.
He might be like to me, bro, like the solution's right there in front of
I
me.
might already
but
have the solution.
Thank you.
Do you get me?
Because he might have been through it himself, but I wouldn't know that.
Yeah.
And in my bubble of life, I'm thinking, oh, square four walls. If I can't see it, it can't be done, for example.
100.
But Tay's like, bro, like,
It's
come
right
on,
there.
man, it's right
Do
there.
you get me? That's why I say 2 hands are better than one. Do you know what I mean? Flipping. I feel like losses can also blind you as well. Losses can cloud your vision. You will take an L and you'll be just so in your head, bro, man's taking this L, and you can't even think of the solution. So that's why it's important to share them with your people. Do you get me? Because there's definitely a solution out there.
But I don't think that losses can always cloud your vision. I feel like losses can sometimes. I can't even talk today, bro. Losses can sometimes cloud your vision, yeah. But only if you let it cloud your vision. Like me, if I take an L, based off the topic of today's conversation, you know, and I'm sure it's the same with you, you won't really allow it to get to you that much because your main depiction from the situation is what can I learn? The loss is here, but there's certain gems here that I can learn within, do you know what I mean? But if you allow, it's like, you know, when like some people might fail and then remember like when we were a kid, for example, and something went wrong and we got told off, we're just sitting there sulking, you just like this bare vex and I'm sulking. That's how I see. If you allow your loss to cloud your vision, you're just sulking, in my opinion. Like,
100.
the problem is the problem, but what is the solution? Like, there could be a tree in the middle of the road, but how am I going to get past this damn tree? Do you know what I mean? That's the solution.
The problem's fixed, but the solution's flexible. Do you get what I mean?
I like that.
The solution's flexible. You can do so many different things to get through this problem. So instead of you sitting there in your head worrying about it, find a solution, innit? There's a solution out there, definitely. And there's people out there that's gone through the same problems you've gone through and they've killed it. They've done a mad thing. Do you get me? So, yeah, man, just keep that in mind when you take it off.
Nah, literally, man. So, again, I put it to you guys and I literally asked on the Instagram. So, again, tap in Energizer Pod. Make sure you follow, man. And I asked the same question. So, do you think you can use setbacks as getbacks? And the majority of people literally just agreed with us. So, I even give you the stats. 100% of people. The question was, do you think that you can use obstacles to move forward? And 100% of people said yes. So, that's why you're tapping in with us right now, because obviously like-minded people and that. But literally one question that, or one explanation point that someone said as to why they chose yes is because they believe that obstacles can just test how much you really want something.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
touched
so
on
true.
that as
You
well.
literally said that.
I touched on that. I feel like it's a test for you to see if you really want what you want. Like, if you're going for a goal, you're gonna face some resistance. Do you get me? You're gonna face some pushback. If you really want it, you're gonna push back too. You're gonna fight back. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I feel like losses happen, the obstacles happen, but you need to push through that. You know what I'm saying?
Literally, man. Like, if you really want it, man, you will get it, and you will get there.
Find a way.
You will find a way. Thank you. But like, we've all, and even looking back, yeah. So like, a couple years ago, whenever I started a hustle, side hustle, or whatever it could have been, yeah, I literally remember now times when I would have faced a bit of hardship, faced a problem, faced a setback, and I was like, oh my days, it's the end of the world. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you look back 2 years ago to something that's happened and you're like, raw, like, I was moving like this was like the end of the world, but look here, I'm perfectly fine. Do you know what I mean? So like, in the moment, as emotions kicking in, you're thinking, raw, like, what's going on? How am I gonna get past this? What we're gonna, do you know what I mean? What we're gonna do?
Take the 24 hours, man. Take the 24 hours and just think about it logically instead of emotion. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man.
Emotion don't really help a lot. What do you think on that?
Obviously, emotions, that's a natural thing, innit? Emotions are a natural thing. However, logic is more solution orientated. I feel like emotion is that circle. You're just thinking. Logic is, alright, cool, this is the problem, how do I target it? Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, I feel like emotion doesn't really help in most situations still. Some situations it might help, but more time it don't. But I don't feel like you can always act in logic. Sometimes you need to act in emotion. Do you agree? Do you agree?
I don't really know. Like,
alright, cool.
Go on.
Let's say now, yeah, you see a homeless man on the road. Yeah, homeless man on the road.
Okay, now I agree.
Yeah, alright. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know he's gonna
sometimes
say
you
so,
need, sometimes you need to use emotion, but more time it's logic. Even in those cases, you still need to use logic.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
So it's like, yo, you're right, because like, let's say building on that scenario, I'm driving, or not even driving. I'm walking down the road. I'm down on my last £10, for example, and I see a homeless family. There's like a little kid there, for example, on the street, and a man or the parent rat-a-tat, and asking for some change. Logic is saying, bro, you're down to your last tenner. Why are you giving money away?
Yeah.
But emotion is saying, like, do you know what I mean? They're obviously without, and they're in a more. They need it more than I do per se. Do you know what I mean? In some
So then
cases,
So then what I'm doing in that situation, I'm using logic and emotion. I'm saying, all right, cool. I need the £10. They need bread too. I'm splitting it down the middle. They take 5, I'll take 5. And
Thank
keep it
you.
pushing.
That's what I was gonna say.
So it's kind of like yin and yang. Sometimes use your emotion, keep your logic there. Do you get me? But
So do you feel like they can kind of coincide with each other?
sometimes you just got to use one or the other.
Yeah.
Do you get me? But sometimes you can use both.
Yeah,
still.
but I don't know if I even agree with that, because I agree with the example we gave, but I don't think that they can coincide. Bro, I believe everything's binary. They're opposite sides. How can they both be together? I feel like that example of us with like the homeless example, we're acting from emotion, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there's no logic there, because logic wouldn't have allowed you to split that change, because that's your money.
No, but there is logic there though.
How?
Because the logic, what I said, the logic is, all right, cool, I split this money, I still got bread there for me. If you're acting in full emotion, I'm giving them the full £10. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I feel like the emotion would outweigh the logic from time you decide to commit to giving money to them in the first place, because you're leaning more to the emotion side, is what I'm saying. Because if you lean more to the logic, you wouldn't have done it. So I don't think they can be.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you still.
Half harmony, 50-50. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like, I think that everything's binary. Life is full of ones and zeros. I said this before. One side or the other side. You don't agree?
I agree.
I can see your face.
I agree. But if everyone acted based on just one, then the world wouldn't really work.
How?
Like if everyone just thought based on emotion, nothing's gonna happen in the world. Do you know what I'm saying?
No.
You don't get what I mean?
No, go on.
Bro, everyone's gonna be catering to, all right, cool, like they need to feel good, or I need to feel good. I can't go and work because I want to spend time with my family, but you ain't making no bread. So you're catering to your emotion, but you ain't making no bread. There's no lights in the house now. Do you know what I mean?
So I feel like, yeah, but then that's logic. That's not both.
What do you mean though?
What I'm saying is, the examples you're giving to me, are just one. Like the example about you got a yard and a family, and you want to go and chill. Maybe it's like Christmas Eve, everyone's chilling at home, but you know you got to get to work, mate. You got to make the money to keep the rent and everything going,
But why?
That's
though?
logic.
But
What do you mean why?
Why are you doing that?
Because logic.
No, but why are you going to work and grinding? For who?
For them.
So what's that? Emotion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, they come hand in hand, but I don't know. When it comes to problems, I rather react with logic. Do you get me? That's how you're supposed to do, especially as a man.
Yeah.
Leave
feel
the
like
emotion.
Men are more. Men. Oh, how do I word this, innit?
Be careful, bro. You know the internet's watching, my guy.
I feel like, let me just say this then. Girls, generally speaking, are more emotional than guys.
Yeah,
That's
agree.
calm.
I agree.
And it's true, because like guys try and think in a bit more of like,
Do you feel like an emotional man can be a strong man?
I don't know. I don't think so. I feel like I don't think so, but that's kind of contradicting, because I would honestly say that I'm an emotional man. And like I like to wear my heart on my sleeve type of guy. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm very in touch with my emotions, But at the same time, I feel like you have to feel and embrace and not act. There's a difference. I'm feeling my emotions. I understand them. I'm embracing how I feel in this moment, but I'm not acting on it. I would still feel all the emotion, and I could still act with logic.
Yeah, 100.
What do you think?
100%. I agree with you still. I feel like as a man, logic's your main core, but you still need to have some form of emotion there. Do you get me? Not even towards other people, but towards yourself. You need to know how you feel inside. Do you know what I mean? Because you can be so driven towards, I'm trying to hit this goal, that you're not thinking about your mental well-being or whatnot. All these external factors. You get me? So, yeah, balancing both, man.
Nah, literally, man. And I feel like, even touching on a different topic, like last episode we was talking about self-care for the man them and certain traits being seen as feminine traits. What do you think on emotion? Do you feel like guys can't really show emotion without it coming across as them being feminine? What's your take on that?
I think it depends on who you are as a man. Because I know if you're secure in yourself, then you can show emotion and still know who you are. Do you understand what I mean? But I feel like some men who aren't secure they need to put on this macho energy all the time.
I definitely agree.
Like, you know, in school, taking it back to school days, you'll see that one bear and he's always on votes. He's always acts like he's on votes, but really and truly, there's something that he's dealing with, innit? Because as like a made man, as a man that knows who you are, you stand on your principles, you can show emotion, but then you still act with logic. You know what I mean?
Exactly, and I 110% agree with that, and I'll tell you why. Because I feel like everything is framed. So you have a masculine frame and you have a feminine frame. Yeah, as a man, me and you are comfortable within our masculine frame. Do you know what I mean? So that means that we can still show emotion because I know within myself I'm a man and that I'm masculine. Do you know what I mean? No one, it's not. I'm not insecure of the fact that let me not show any type of emotion. Let me not show happiness or show feelings of love in that because it makes man less of a man. That's just a misogynistic man, for one. And two, it's someone who doesn't really have a strong masculine frame, because if your frame is strong, these little things aren't going to phase you. It's only if your frame's weak and you're insecure about yourself and like where you really stand within yourself, you're going to be like, man can't do that because it's a gallum thing. Or man can't be doing all that. Yeah, do you know what I mean? We all know guys like that as well, but you can't be.
But then
like
when
that.
I see guys like that, I think, bro, you're a little girl, bro. Like, you're a girl. Do you get me? Like, it's mad because in those situations, they're acting with emotion. They're not really acting with logic.
And it's true. It's sort of like counteractive because you're trying to be more of a man, which really and truly to the wider eye, you're sitting back like, this is just less of a man.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
A man is happy in his skin. I'm happy to start singing. I'm a man. You know what I mean? I swear down. I swear down. Literally today on my stuff, I'm here singing out Sunshine Anderson, Monica and whatnot. Do you know what I mean?
No one can't tell you nothing.
No one's telling me nothing because I'm a man and I'm happy in my skin, bro. Like, no one's gonna trick me on my spot.
And if it comes down to it, then man know what the pattern is. Do you understand
Exactly,
what I mean?
but it doesn't make me any less of a man just because I'm showing emotion or because I'm doing things that aren't really misogynistic, man. Or do you know what I mean?
What I would say though, just touching on what it is to be a man, yeah. I said this to you yesterday in the group chat. Set yourself some principles, set yourself some morals, and stick on them. Don't allow anything or anyone, it could be family, a girl, anyone come into your life and make you sway away from your principles. Like literally do this. Write down your principles. I got 12 of them. This is how I live my life. So now I've got a blueprint. All right, cool. If they've done this and it goes against my blueprint, they've got to keep it moving. Do you know what I mean?
I need to do that.
You should do
so
that.
Like, elaborate on it, like.
Alright, cool. I'm not even gonna say what my principles.
Yeah,
are.
I was trying to say that.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna say what my principles are because I feel like there's certain things you need to keep to yourself. And do you get me? But there's certain principles there, yeah. Like even how, not even just to do with anyone else, like to do with me, how I move on a day to day. I'll tell you one of them. One of them is just treat everyone with respect, whether it's a man outside the shop who's homeless, no bread, or a guy, a big CEO in a suit. Do you get me? Treat them with the same respect. Do you know what I mean? So principles mean a lot still.
No, you're right. I feel like I definitely have, I don't know if I call it principles. I definitely have certain points in which I like to live by. But do I have written out principles that I live by and reflect on a daily basis? No. Am I going to do that on the back of this episode? Yes. Because I feel like it's key. I wouldn't even say something, maybe especially as a man, but everyone should do that. Having principles and certain rules that you like to live by should be gender neutral, but more so as a man, so you don't take, I don't know.
Do you know what it is? I feel like it just gives you structure in life. It just gives you more structure. There's as I said, it's black and white. There's no colourful rainbow thing. It's like, alright, cool. If this don't match up with what I'm doing, my principles, then it's not for me. It's got to go. Do you get me? And it just makes life so much easier still. So even dealing with someone like as a friend, they might backstab you. If that goes against your morals, then you know what to do. Regardless of how you may feel, which is an emotion, logic is saying, alright, cool, stand on your principles.
That's so true. I'm going to do that, you know, because you're right. Like, I feel like sometimes when emotion comes into play, it blurs your vision. It blurs what's right. Do you know what I mean? So like you said, if there was a set of rules that I can say to myself, yeah, Ty, you live by these rules, innit? No matter who the person is, what they've done, if they cross these boundaries, done. One and done. I actually want to talk about that as well.
Should we touch it?
What is one and done?
One and done is a principle that I live by. I kind of introduced it to the mandem as well. So what it is you could be with someone on a girlfriend basis or friendship basis, but from the start, you need to line out exactly what it is. You need to say, all right, cool, this is what it is, this is what I will accept, this is what I won't accept.
Yeah.
As soon as that person goes against that, it's one and done. Do you get me? There's no coming back, there's no restart, negotiating, because I feel like it just cuts the bullshit out of your life. You know what I mean? What do you reckon?
Nah, I definitely agree. I feel like one and done is something that you should live by, because it's like, if you stand for everything, if you
stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything.
Thank you. If you stand for nothing, you fall for everything. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, what you accept is what you allow. So if I allow, for example, Tavon to disrespect me on a daily basis, next week if we was to go out with the man them, like a greater group of our friends, because he's disrespecting me and I'm allowing it, I'm then teaching his friends or my friends subconsciously, oh yeah, let me just
Not only
violate
that,
time.
but you're allowing me to understand that it's cool to violate.
Yeah.
Like there's no consequences to violate.
Literally. So you can't allow that. Do you know what I mean? And literally, what you accept is what you allow, and that's why like the one and done thing. Since I've introduced it, it's cutthroat, but you have to hold yourself to a higher standard, innit?
100.
Like even separate yourself from the one and done thing. Like hold yourself to a higher standard, because there's certain people out there who you probably know who wouldn't take nothing from no one, in a sense where it's like they're not gonna allow people to disrespect them time and time again. So why are you allowing that? Why are you allowing people to walk over your life, but you want to hold yourself in your head to a high standard? I'm Billy Big Bollocks, but then Billy Big Bollocks is getting run down by everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear that. He's getting run down by everyone. Yeah, no, I hear you. As you said, it's kind of cutthroat still. Yeah, like a lot of the people that I've actually shown that one and done thing to, like I've actually done it to them, they don't understand it. But I feel like when you're living by that, you need to make it very clear from the jump. This is what I'm going to accept and this is what I'm not going to accept. Do you get me? And after that, it's very clear how you lot are supposed to be moving. Yeah. Do you get me?
No, 100%, man. So like you're teaching someone, this is what I live by. This is how you're going to treat me. If anything goes out of these boundaries, I'm not with it.
Yeah, and even if you do disrespect, man, like, we don't even need to have no drama. Like, it's just simply you're out of my life. That's it, man. Keeps it moving. Do you get me? So, yeah, man. Ties it with the camera.
With a TikTok and whatnot. Even on a side note, you see TikTok?
Aye, bro. TikTok's a crazy app, bro.
Fam, I'm addicted.
It's a mad thing.
I'm addicted.
even touching on the masculine thing, this was me, a few months ago.
Yeah, same, bro.
On the same. Man jumping on TikTok with all these gal dancing.
Yeah.
Then when I realised that how many eyes are on TikTok, how many people are watching these videos, I said, no, I need to jump on it. It's a form of promotion, bro. Do you get me?
Literally. So I feel like sometimes the lesson I've definitely learned in regards to TikTok is put your pride to the side, because again, blocking your blessings. So me and Tay saying 4 months ago, maybe, nah, man, I ain't jumping on TikTok, misogynistic man, it's for the gal, it's blocking my blessings, because like TikTok is the #1 app right now, being real. Everyone's on TikTok, so especially if you're someone who's big on building your personal brand, like myself and you, for example, by you not jumping on TikTok, it's just hurting you.
You've seen it happen in real life, bro. You see it happen in real life. Just to give you like a background story, I posted a little TikTok, done his little rounds on TikTok.
Say that in.
Done his little rounds. But forget all that.
I said little rounds like it's not like 100k right now, bro.
He's
famous. That's why he's on the podcast, man.
Little light thing, but that TikTok there though, off the back of that, obviously like I got a lot of attention in that. But what it really done is shine light onto my business. Do you get what I mean? My clothing brand, Trendsetter. I'll show you like a DM in a second. People are DMing me saying, listen, I'm inspired about what you're doing. Like, you're young, you've got a clothing brand, you're doing well. You was in GQ magazine, like that inspired me to start my own clothing brand. Do you get me? And touching on the last episode, that's what I'm here to do, inspire people through my work in it. So from this TikTok app that I thought was for a girl, like rare, I've actually done something that aligns with my purpose. You know what I mean? So
done something that fulfills you as an individual.
Yeah. And
you would have not done that if you carried on blocking your blessings a few months ago by saying, nah, I'm not getting on this app for whatever reason, X, Y, or Z.
Yeah, even just touching on that, build your personal brand. Even if right now you're not doing anything, build a personal brand, let people know about you. Do you get me? Because you want to build up that trust with people. So when you do something, they're like, all right, cool, nah, I rate my man. He's a solid guy. If you start in a business, I trust it. Do you know what I mean? So build up your personal brand from now, man. Let people know about you. Put yourself out there.
But I'm gonna hold you there because we're gonna have an episode 2. We got some big guests coming up. Do you know what I mean? So that's all I'm gonna say. But Tay can't really speak on that because we got something in the works.
Loading.
All right. But cool. On the way out, one gem, man. As we do Energizer, go on, my bro.
One gem that I would say, we touched on it already. I'll just say, write down your principles. Write down what you will accept. Write down what you will not accept, and stand on that. They're non-negotiables. There's no if, buts, or maybes, or in the middle, or on the fence, as we said. Allow it. It's if you're not with my principles, you're off my principles, and you're out of my life. So write down your principles, figure out what you want to do and whatnot, and just stand on it, man.
Strong. For me, based on the topic of today's episode, I would probably say be a solution-orientated individual. What I mean by that is, in every aspect of life, whether you're a business owner, content creator, whatever it could be, I absolutely promise you, there's always going to be an obstacle. Right now you're good, but in the next 2 weeks, the trajectory is saying there might be an obstacle that might come. So what you got to take into perspective, or take into life, or take into consideration, should I say, is what's the solution here? How can I rectify this here? Because like I said, problems are inevitable. They will come, but it's all about how you react. Do you know what I mean? So always look to be a solution-oriented individual who seeks to find the solution to problems rather than focusing on the problem. Because if you focus on the problem, you're not going nowhere. It's not going anywhere. Do you know what I mean? So just focus on the solution, man.